We had to jam out for at least a little bit, right? I had to play the Goblin Slayer theme song for the intro. I had to. I'm pretty sure they're gonna make me block that due to copyright, but
maybe. I mean, it depends on how much of it.
Well, it was only like 1minute and 30 seconds, so we'll see.
That was necessary.
It was definitely necessary for the stream. I know Twitch won't block me for it, but
well, that's because Twitch is kind of just chill.
It's YouTube that I have the issues with that. But you know what? We work with it. We work with it.
Man, that opening though, man,
bro.
It's something about, like, for me personally, it's something about like the violins, man, that just hits, bro.
No, the violins is crazy. And then you ever like the choir go mad dumb for no reason. Like the choir be hitting them notes, man. Like,
man,
bro, they just add that flair, especially like because we're gonna get into it, especially when it's during the show and he in there brawling. Like that music is pivotal. Like,
yeah, man. Yeah,
but gentlemen. Let's get down to tax abreast. We here to talk about, first of all, I'm your boy Ideal Tone, and I'm here to make that known that we are back with another episode of Binge or Cringe. And today we are talking about Goblin Slayer. Goblin Slayer is a anime that came out of the woodworks. Nobody was like, don't get me wrong. If you read the manga and everything and you knew about it, then you probably knew what the amped up hype was. But me, myself, personally, I ain't know crap about this anime. Then when it came out, I was like, all right, Goblin Slayer, he slays Goblin. That might be entertaining. Watched it. It was a lot to unpack, and that's in part. Most of that was just the first episode, which we'll get into. But let's
man, that first episode went crazy,
bro.
Yeah.
But before we get into all that, like I said, we're here to talk about Demon Slayer, but I'm going to introduce my panel. Today, we have my boy. He's returning, the one, the only, J Smack.
What's goody? Yeah, I am J Smack. You already know. I'm Mr. Inconsistent. You know what I'm saying? But that's okay. We working through the motions. Life just be lifing. But I'm here. And I'm back. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't think of anything clever to say after here, so I'm just back.
I appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. Glad you could make it, man. Then we got the one, the only D-Zone.
What's up? It's your boy D-Zone back in the zone. How y'all doing tonight?
Yeah, man.
Chilling.
And then my boy John. Don't forget the last name Gideon.
Let's go. Gotta get him. John Gatton is in the building. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, bro.
Yes,
glad you could all make it. Cobalt wanted to be here tonight, could not. Had his nephew. It is what it is. Family. I don't take people away from family. Family first. So, but may he forever rest in anime peace.
He's here in spirit. He's definitely here in spirit.
He really wanted to be here for this. He was like, "Oh, tonight was Goblin Slayer, wasn't it?" I was like, "Yeah, bro." He was kind of sick. He was like, "Damn."
He was more hype about this than I was, and I only finished watching the second season.
Oh yeah, because you
earlier this week.
Yeah, because I told you there was a second season. You were like, "No, there's not." I was like, "Yes, there is." And you was like,
I was like, "No, stop."
I think I only got through the first one so far. No lie. You put me on, and I definitely binged the first season.
Nice. Season 2 is just as good in my opinion, but season 1 was like outbreak. It was like Jones crazy. But let's dive into it, man. We're here to talk about Goblin Slayer. Goblin Slayer is an anime that is dark. It's dark. Don't get me wrong, it has some lighthearted moments, but that anime gets dark. It gets brutal, and it really shows you. Yeah, and here's the thing. Goblin Slayer is good that it says that as the title, because it literally shows you goblins are actually a threat. Like, people think I'll go slay some goblins. Ain't nothing. No, these dudes are menaces. They are real threats. Like,
even like a foot tall, like the smallest goblins are still they gonna fuck you up.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah,
they are legit threats, man. So let's jump into it, man. Anybody got any like opening statements, man, before I start asking questions?
Well, I don't know if anyone else wants to go first.
You can go.
I just want to know, because I just, my opening statement is I just want to see his face. Do we see his face? Do we ever see his face?
Here's the thing.
Oh, yeah.
Do we ever see his face? Like us, the audience, ever see his face? Is that your question?
Never his full face.
No, so far none of us have seen his full actual face. Now,
that's my opening
granted, the people in the show, they have.
Mm-hmm.
They finally did.
Yeah.
The rest of us have never seen his full face. And before even they saw his full face, the only person that knew what he really looked like was his best friend, the cowgirl.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the farm chick.
Yeah, she's the only one that knew what he legit looked like. So
yeah, it was her friend and her friend's uncle were the only two that knew.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
And honestly, I kind of like that kind of dynamic, because like it kind of, I don't know if it necessarily breaks the fourth wall, but like it kind of, as the audience, is like, all right, like, what did y'all just see? Are y'all going to tell us? Like, you know what I'm saying? It kind of keeps you wondering, you know?
It makes you anxious, and it gives you that suspense, like,
yeah,
turn around. Why are you going to turn around?
Yeah. It's usually the opposite in most like media. Like, they're showing us more than like characters know, but it's like to flip the dynamic on us, and that's I like that.
All right, you know what? You know what's a perfect example of that? The artist, her. No one knew what her looked like for the longest, right? Because she was always.
I haven't seen that yet.
She always remained in shadows. Like her, the music artist. She always remained in shadows. Her first album, you didn't even know what she looked like. Like it's the mystery, you know.
Yeah.
So you fell in love with her voice. Same thing with the guy what's that song? Hold up.
So,
Weekend?
Huh?
The Weekend?
No, not The Weekend. I like The Weekend, but no, I am not talking about.
There's a whole entire band.
Bobby Caldwell. What would you do for love? Everybody thought this. Nobody knew what this man looked like based off the cover. They thought he was a black man. Come to find out, he got soul, but he was white as. So it's that mystery, man.
Yeah.
Been invited to every cookout since.
Oh yeah, man. Bobby no, seriously, he a brother, honorary brother right there.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, man. So yeah, good opening statement. Actually, that brings up a lot of points. You don't really know we don't know what he looks like. We don't know
Yeah.
the look. We've seen his abs more than we've seen his face.
Right.
Yeah, we've seen his torso and everything more than his face. I think the most of his face we've seen was like bottom half of his face.
Yeah, like his
just
mouth.
his, like,
yeah.
hair.
And
Like side profile.
yeah.
And we've seen the back of his
And-
head. That's a
We've seen the back of his head more than we've seen any part of him.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like
It kind of. Oh, my bad.
No. I think
I was gonna say it kind of. This is like obviously not an anime, but and kind of not, a 1-to-1. But the only other I haven't seen her. I'll definitely have to check that out. But the one I was thinking of was the Mandalorian. Y'all ever see that?
Yeah.
oh yeah.
definitely.
But like we saw his face eventually, right? Like it was kind of like they teased it and then we saw his face. So like I kind of like that dynamic. Like like you were saying, like the not the audience, us, we don't get to see it, but the people in the show get to see it. We get to see their reaction. You know what I'm saying? So like that's different, man. That's different.
Yeah, it's definitely different, and it's intriguing, and it's entertaining because it makes you want to know more about the character. Like, what does he actually look like? Like,
and their reaction to him taking off his helmet was, in my opinion, it was completely priceless because they were falling over themselves with it. Especially, I can't remember the elf ranger.
yeah,
she was like, hold on.
Yeah.
This is what you look like? Oh.
Right.
and to him it wasn't really a big deal because he was like, "Why do you want to see? Why do you want me to take my helmet off?" Like he was like, okay.
It's because he devoted everything in his mind, and if you watch the show, it makes it perfectly clear in his backstory why nothing else on his mind except for kill goblins.
Yeah, man. So you know what? Let's talk about it. The start of it, episode 1, man. Episode 1, at the beginning, you don't even come to realize Goblin Slayer is the main character. And because there's multiple main characters, but like you think it's about this girl, which until you meet Goblin Slayer, which I'm gonna be real, I think the author or creator of this took a page out of Fairy Tale because you meet Lucy first and then you meet Natsu. So like
okay.
Natsu's a wild card. We all know that.
Right.
Yeah. So that's the vibes I got. I was like, okay, we meet one of the main characters, then we meet the character that we believe is the main character and everybody wants to see. Like so it starts off with this girl and she just like new to adventuring. She's the bottom of the barrel in rank. And
it's turned into the world's adulthood. Like, I'm ready to go adventure.
Mm-hmm. And
just
like what happened? She gets recruited by this group that's already been a group together. They asked her, did she? They were being genuinely nice to her and like, hey, you want to join us and everything, blah blah blah. And correct me if I'm wrong. Were they not warned about trying to go after goblins?
Yes,
so early?
they were warned, and not to mention they got cocky.
They did.
Bro got way too cocky.
Mm-hmm.
They were warned by the reception lady. It's like, are you sure you want to do that? You sure?
And just like you said before, Tone, like, you think like, oh, okay, in a world of like, mythical creatures like goblins, dragons. I mean, you compare a goblin to a dragon, you're like, okay, I'd rather fight the goblin. But them goblins will put on that work. Like they're underestimated, and they underestimated them, and they kind of got got. They kind of got got.
They got bad, man.
They got real bad.
It was to the point that I remember that this was one of the things, like, it happens all the time in anime or manga or whatever. Mm-hmm. There's an episode that will split the community in half.
Yeah.
And episode 1 was that episode that I won't necessarily say split the community in half, but people were like, "Wow."
Yeah, I'm not watching this. And rightfully so. You know what I'm saying? And I
Yeah, of
get
course,
it.
rightfully so.
Everybody's got their boundaries. You know what I'm saying? But like, I think about like anime, like this, or even Dan to Dan. I mean, that split the community too. The first episode,
it did.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like I understand why people feel, how they feel and stuff, and I respect it. But I think we kind of have to take us, like all of us. And when we say the community, how it splits the community, we're the community outside of Japan.
Right.
We have to kind of understand their culture, their way of doing things.
Their culture is different. Like everything is different over there.
Bro, did y'all know in 2023 they raised the legal age of consent in Japan from 13 to 16. That was 2 years ago.
Yeah. No, real talk. Yeah.
16 is still crazy to me. I ain't gonna hold you. 16 is still crazy, but it used to be 13, gang.
That's because that's because the legal age of consent was 13, and then even still, women could get married at the age of 16 and men at the age of 18.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and they actually had a protectionary law over there for if they wanted to get married early, that the parents had to sign off on it, because
they need
one of the things that was, it's not as prevalent now, but
Yeah.
early Japan, it was all about arranged marriages. There were kids 5-6 years old. Their parents were like, "You two are getting married when you guys get a bit older."
That's crazy.
Yep.
Yeah, man.
That to me is just, like we have to understand it's different out there, like it's another walk in the day, another walk in the park when a girl gets essayed by a goblin. It's another walk in the park with Dan to Dan when a young girl gets potentially. Well, I don't know if y'all seen Dan to Dan yet, but
yeah.
I don't know if
okay.
has.
I'm not even going to go too deep into it. I'm not trying to get us flagged and everything, but y'all know it's. I understand why people feel like uncomfortable, and rightfully so. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, we're diving into their culture. We're diving into their accommodations. So it's like, we got to understand that first, I feel like. But, I mean, once you get past that first episode or that one moment in like the episode, or even like with Danadan, it's a great anime. So like once you get past that scene, that one scene, once you get past it, it's not too bad. It's not too bad.
Definitely. And the story grows. The world, Goblin Slayer does very well with the minimum amount of episodes that it has, developing a world. I have never seen the world develop so not quickly, but so well within that time frame. Because there's a bunch of different anime like Naruto, Bleach, and all like that are spanned a long time, and they develop their world thoroughly, but over more episodes. But like, what Goblin Slayer got 24 episodes in a movie, and then the expansion of the world is crazy. Like,
yeah.
But going back to his point about getting past that first episode, if you also think about it, it's not just going through the culture; it's going through the mindset of the author as well. Because there's tons of books made from all walks of life, all countries, that are taking those forms, those worlds with goblins and dragons and stuff, and writing stuff similar to Goblin Slayer's first episode. Because they're like, hey, we seen in fantasy novel XYZ that these low creatures may be stupid and they get walked on, but what if those creatures weren't as stupid as people thought? And that's exactly what Goblin Slayer did, but there's novels of it.
Yeah.
Like everywhere. I was doing some research because I wanted to see if, this was the first, Goblin Slayer was the first of its kind. And I found out they've been writing like this forever. ever.
Cool.
Yeah, man. And that just goes to show you, man. Going back, diving into episode 1. Once you get past that scene, like you said, Smack. Once you get past that scene, what? No
way.
That's right, baby.
No
That's
way.
Right.
You
What's
knew
good,
I was
gang?
sliding in, son.
You made
You
it?
knew this was coming.
No, I didn't. Why you here? Where your nephew at? Ain't you supposed to be babysitting?
I'm waiting for Alien to copy over to the drive. We're gonna go watch Alien, the OG Alien. So,
Oh, snap.
Oh.
Okay. That's
yeah, dude, it's
That like last
introduction
week.
to real horror movies for my nephew. He's going in thick.
Okay.
That's what's up, man.
Shout out to the occult uncle. Shout out to the occult uncle.
All right, I just popped in to talk about how scarred the entire anime community was.
We just was talking about that too.
And I just
We
want
were just
to
talking
point out,
about
y'all
Perception, man.
don't know anime in the 90s because that shit was way gnarlier.
Yeah.
Yup. Berserk.
Like,
Even farther
throw
back.
some Berserk, throw some freaking MD Geist.
MD Geist
We
was
could get some
crazy.
old schools that would scar people.
Yo.
Like even Ninja Scroll, which started it all for
That was my
the
first manga.
What'd you say, John?
That was like my first tape.
Oh, Ninja Scroll? Yeah, Ninja Scroll was crazy.
US manga, baby. Nice. That's a winner. Hold on, I got a tear in my eye for you, son. God bless you. God bless you.
But yeah,
That's how you start shit. All right.
But yeah, but Kobo, we just was talking about that and how like you have to at that point you're either going to shut it off and you're done, or you get past that. And once you get past it, it's not as bad anymore. But like the
reality is though,
yeah,
it's setting the stage. All right, this is a stark reality that they've grown up with, and it for it to be any less would take away from how all of those hunters ended up there. You know, him included. You know, his tale and what he walked into. That's a reality he has to walk into in every dungeon he goes into.
Yeah.
All right. And the moment you forget how dangerous these simple creatures are is the moment they get you. And that's reiterated, obviously, a lot later on. But having a beginning that gives you a stark reality like that, it was important, but I don't think a lot of people were ready for an adult introduction to an anime like that, you know?
Yeah.
These days, things are a lot more soft, a lot tailored to a lot younger audiences in a way that anime wasn't traditionally supposed to be like, you know?
Yeah.
As I said, in the 90s, things were a lot harder, but that's because the demographic they were tailored to was adults. And young adults. Most of the people that they animated for were people that grew up in a stark environment that had economic collapse, that had rebuilding from a nuclear bomb that decimated them. You know,
yeah.
And a lot of that reality was woven into their history and their culture. And you have to remember that.
Smack brought that up not too long ago. Like it's a different culture over there. We're immersed in their culture.
Shit.
13, gang. 13. It passed in 2023. That was like last week.
Yeah,
dude, I know it floors me that it's that old, bro. Because it's like I'm like, oh, this was just yesterday, bro, just yesterday. And then I'm thinking back. Wait a second, no, fam, it is 2024 now. But yeah, you know.
And I was saying, still legally, women can get married at the age of 16. Granted, they gotta have parental consent, but the fact that it still stands as a law. That joint is
okay. And here's another thing that you have to look at the 90s. They had no protections for women. All right. They still have a problem with how they objectify women. All right. This is something that, like, the lowly culture that is still going strong there is still a problem. And you could step away from it, and you have to look at it in that culture, and you have to look at the animes that we love. Battle Angel Lita, 14.
Mm.
Neon Genesis, they were all 13 to 15.
Mm-hmm.
You know, our most iconic anime characters from the 90s were underage because that is what they objectified at the time.
Yeah.
That's true.
And
That's true.
granted, they've moved away from it. Like there have been leaps and bounds away from that culture, but the older generations are still bound to that.
Yeah,
Mhm.
absolutely.
And you know, obviously we move beyond it, but it's important to be cognizant of what anime was when it started, good and bad.
That's true.
Yeah.
It's 100% true.
Absolutely.
Goblin Slayer is a perfect representation of that in that first episode. You get the stark reality of what they find acceptable. And you need to keep that in mind. It's not all roses and flowery introductions to anime, you know?
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
no.
facts, man. Facts. We was talking about this as one of the darker anime. It is what it is.
Mhm.
Mhm.
And you know what makes that, you know, scene, I personally think what makes that scene like really, really, you know, make people kind of be like, ugh, like, I don't know, like turned off from it, obviously. Outside of what happened, we didn't actually see the intercourse. We saw her eyes get like wide eyed. Well, first she got stripped. Okay, she
Yeah.
got stripped naked. And then we saw her eyes get wide eyed. And one of the goblins, like, you saw the clench in her cheeks.
Yeah.
And he was just
Yeah.
like, so like you do the math.
Yeah.
You do, we didn't have
Absolutely.
to see
Yeah,
the
that
scene.
no,
to
that
know what
moment, if
happened.
you couldn't get past that, you was either like, all right, I'm done, or you was like,
And
wow.
yeah, and if you look at it,
wow.
dude,
Like,
think back to Devilman.
oh my
same-
God.
Violence, but they cut it out. In the
Yeah.
90s, you saw that shit. Now you don't, but it's implied.
Mhm.
Mhm.
But
Mhm.
you don't even get the implied anymore, you know? So it was a wake-up call for people. But look at the transformation of the princess, the healer.
The
that they
priestess,
have.
yeah,
Oh,
the priestess.
The priest, thank you. The
The
priestess.
priest.
Look at how
the
she went from
priestess-
completely demoralized and just scarred mentally to
Mhm.
climbing out of that. So it is a redemption story in a way for her.
Mhm. Yeah.
And if you look, they put a lot of focus on her redemption throughout it. In fact, if you look at Goblin Slayer, he's almost not the protagonist, but she is.
I said
in that
that.
first
I said
first
that.
couple arcs.
I said that because all right, because I said they like you see like don't get me wrong, he's technically still a protagonist, but there's multiple protagonists. Whereas I feel she's the main protagonist because we're being told the story mostly through her, and like you said, Kobo, her redemption and how she's growing as a hunter, being with him and everything like that. Or is it hunter or is it
adventurer.
adventurer? Growing as an
Yeah.
adventurer. And how we initially start the story by meeting her first. And they pulled a whole Lucy Natsu fairy tale on us.
Yeah, no. And here's one of the other things that they did, because they made the story a really, really good redemption story for her, but it also was kind of a story of healing and finally starting to come to terms and starting to try to lead a normal life for the Goblin Slayer too, because
Yeah.
as it progresses, you see that he's like, okay, doing some things different and not just solely focusing on goblins isn't too bad. But my main focus is still, I'm going to kill every single goblin on the face of this plane of existence.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. But like we said, so I don't want us to get stuck in a rut. Once we hit that point though, and you get past it, that's when you introduce the Goblin Slayer. All of a sudden, there's this menacing presence. You don't even see him right away. You just see that. You just feel this menacing presence, and the goblins
red eye.
And the goblins get shook. They know it's coming. Like they know something's coming. The goblins get shook.
That
They get
freaking-
prepared for battle.
That red eye effect that they do for him whenever he goes into battle, in my opinion, coolest thing ever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man.
It's aura, that aura, man.
Yeah, he oozes aura when he walks into a Goblin Slayer den, bro. He's he's awkward and socially awkward and everything normally, but when he's in a dungeon, man is a whole different breed. Like
Locked in.
yeah, man. And then you just hear him walking in and everything. My man got multiple. He got a fire stick, his sword, killing the goblins, saved the girl, and the girl was like, there was multiple things happening so fast, and he was like, okay, he just roped her in, like, all right, you're gonna help me, like.
Mm-hmm. I'll tell you one thing. I learned what "I'm sorry" meant in Japanese thanks to her. Because she said it so many times. Come back to side. Come back to side. Come back. Because what could she do? What could she do in that moment? Nothing.
Man.
Oh yeah, no. She was scarred so bad. Like until she got that chainmail, she was shook in her boots even outside of dungeons and caves. She just couldn't just function without it anymore.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it was a lot for her, especially it was her first mission. We got to keep that in mind. It was her first mission, her first adventure, her first.
I would have been like, wrap it up. Wrap it up. I'm going home.
All right, gentlemen, I got balance. I just wanted to leave you with one note. Fantastic anime, and enjoy Beard Cutter. Take care, boys.
Beard Cutter.
Better.
All right,
Yeah.
bro.
All right, bro.
You know, out of all of his nicknames, that has
like
to be
Beard
my
Cutter. Yeah.
favorite nickname for him.
Yeah.
I like Beard Cutter. I was like, okay, he got different nicknames in different languages. Okay. Yeah, my
Right.
my boy out here, he famous.
He is famous because Bard's way in, heard of his exploits, and sung his song about it.
I'm just saying, when the hero even know that who you are, that's what's up. Like, what's up?
Right.
Like, yeah, they're like, I'm the hero. I'm Goblin Slayer. You're a Goblin Slayer? It's like, no,
Right.
I've heard.
You know
your
what's also
stories.
speaking of that, I had to like remember, like, because like we kind of like a few of us kind of stumbled over the names. The names are like not like your traditional, Sasuke or Kirito. Like it's like their profession. Like he's Goblin Slayer. It's the priestess, Lizard Priest, which is one of my favorite characters. I like him a lot.
Yo,
Dude,
he's dope,
Lizard
bro.
Priest is dope.
He's
He
pretty
got
cool.
the Dwarven Magicaster.
Yeah, like
And
yeah,
then the elf,
I think that's different.
And the elf, then they call her. He be like long ears. Like he calls it the
Yeah.
dwarf is disrespectful, bro. He be like,
It's because they hold true to the narrative in fantasy genre of dwarves and elves just beefing with each other.
yeah, man. And here's the thing: they beef with each other, but they're in a party together, so they're not really like at odds. They trust each other enough to the fact that like, all right, we can work together. But at the same time, they constantly at each other, bro. It's the funniest thing, bro.
They were the comedic relief in some of the very tense moments where you were in the most tense. They would crack at each other, and then everything would just settle down for a second. It would give you that gasp of air, like, oh shoot, we're still here and everything is okay. But they're still in a screwed up situation, and they're making fun of each other now.
Bro, here's the thing. Like, before they came together as a party, Goblin Slayer was on his own. He was doing, and then the priestess joins him, and they'd done a couple dungeons at this point, to the point that she like, okay, you're limited on doing this, and this. He was like, why? It was like, because they started, and even when they joined the bigger group, like, because it's crazy, it's inhumane, it's not safe for us. Like, inhumane, we killing goblins. What you mean? I'm out here, I'm sending these goblins to the gulag. Like, what you mean? Like, they don't matter how they go. Like, they die. Like,
he's like, I don't care how they die, as long as they die.
Me myself personally, I was with Goblin Slayer. All right, look, I'm sending these goblins to the gulag. It's me or them. I ain't getting packed for y'all. Like,
no, as soon as they start limiting the ways he could kill goblins, I'm like, but guys, you know Goblin Slayer likes using these methods, but it could be kind of therapeutic for him, kind of, because of his backstory. His backstory is real fucked up.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, that is true. It could be very therapeutic. That's a good point.
I will say this though, because they started limiting him, he got more creative. My man was wild.
Oh.
He was wild.
He did find more creative ways to start killing goblins.
All right, so here's my question: which one of your favorite ways that he got creative and took out goblins? Which one of your favorite
Freaky.
methods that he used?
I don't have to even think, because they limited him on it right away, because they didn't even know he knew how to do it. It was freaking fire with the shit ton of powder. Flour.
The explosion!
Find
Yeah,
the explosive, blowing up that freaking shoot.
it was
that
the eyeball, wasn't
monster.
it? Yeah.
We don't know its true name, but if I were to guess, it would be its true name would have been Beholder, if it's going fantasy, because Dungeons and Dragons, I play it.
Mm-hmm.
And Beholders look exactly like that.
Yeah,
shit ton of eyes, motherfuckers.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I got two. To be honest, I got two. I think one of the most creative things that he did to kill goblins. Remember where it was right after the eyeball thing. Remember the giant mirror to the goblins.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. That was pretty raw.
That was crazy. He was like, you know what? Flip the mirror over. Let the rocks fall to the other side. Kill those goblins, and then let's kill the goblins as we let the whole building collapse on top of us. What?
Yeah, that was pretty raw.
Yeah. That was pretty cool.
I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. When it was happening, I didn't know what his game plan was, and none of the rest of the team knew. I was like, "What is going on? What is his idea?" Like,
it was actually kind of cool how the priest was like, when she went to go help Lizard Priest, she looked at her staff for a second. It's like, I hope you can handle pulling on these bars to get this mirror off this wall before trying to pry the mirror off the wall with him.
Yeah. First of all, Lizard Priest is my man. He goated. Okay, he goated. 100%.
Oh, his blessings and stuff that he has are just freaking awesome. If I need numbers, no problem. I could summon two skeletal people to fight with me.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I need weapons. Let me take this small bone and bam, I got me a sword.
Yeah, my man was OP. I liked him, man. He's definitely one of my favorite characters. The other one that I was going to mention though is the one when they're in the dungeon when they first joined the party with all of them, and
the first fight, like the first episode. He was slaying goblins. I mean,
bro. Yeah, bro.
Another one.
Yeah. So I do have another one.
Yeah.
And it has to do with explosives again.
Oh
it was when they were taking care of the freaking goblins near the elven village.
Oh yeah. Oh, if we talking about near the elven village, there's another good one. I forgot about this one. The water scroll. Remember he dropped the other half?
I think I remember that.
It was he had a scroll that had a portal that was connected to another scroll that had a portal, right? So it was two scrolls connected together, and they had a portal between them. And he had the opposite one, and he dropped the first one at the bottom of the ocean. And he killed the giant ogre when he opened the scroll because of all the water and pressure. That was sick. I was like, what goes through his mind, bro? Like
that gave me another one. And it's when we got to see the newer hero party Not the one with the sword priestess, but the new one with the 3
Yeah.
little girls. And that was when he had the portal that sent the goblins just outside the place in the air.
Oh yeah.
Because after he used that scroll, it cut to them. It's like, who would just drop goblin corpses here? I was like, that's fucked up.
Look, man, when they start limiting him, he had to get more creative. Like we already said, he started wilding. He started doing any and everything.
It was almost like he was throwing a tantrum, trying to find even more inhumane ways to do it.
Yeah, man.
Hey, man. I mean, like you said, with his background, he's like, all right, I only have one mission and one mission only: murder these goblins. Oh, you want to kill a dragon? Nope. I want goblins. That's it. That's all I want.
It was like,
I mean, when he was younger, he wanted to go do the stereotypical adventuring stuff, go slay dragons, behemoths, and all of that. But his backstory wouldn't allow it.
Yeah, he changed, man, and changed. And but in that changement, bro, that's his mindset, bro. That's his genuine mindset. He be like this. He be chilling, and then there ain't no goblin missions on the board. Then someone walk over to him and was like, the Goblin Slayer. They're like, goblins? Like, no, there's no. Is there a goblin mission? Is there a goblin mission? No, there's no goblin mission.
If it ain't a goblin, I don't want it.
He was like, I'm like, all right. But then he start leaving. He be like, okay. Like he's just start dipping, bro. He does not care about anything else besides. And you really gotta like ask him like directly to do something else because he won't do.
Oh yeah, because that's what made me laugh is almost every interaction that wasn't directly related to goblins. If someone brought it up to him, his first word out of his mouth was goblins.
Yeah, bro.
He said that shit with a huge question mark behind it every time. He's like, goblins?
Right.
As soon as they tell him no, all right, cool, I'm out. That's it. Peace. We done with this conversation. My man's crazy. But yeah, man, there's so much that happens in the world, bro. And I'll be real with you. And then here's the thing. Dude, y'all remember how they showed us like his training with his master?
That was brutal.
And they finally explained what his master was, but at first and that was in season 2. But in season 1, I was like, is this master a fucking goblin?
Oh, I thought his master was a goblin too until we got to see his face in season 2.
Yeah.
I was like,
I thought he was a goblin the whole time, bro. I was like, yo, this is crazy. Like, he a goblin training somebody to kill goblins.
I have to ask you, and whoever else watched season 2 and actually got to see the master's face, did you also get the feeling after seeing his face, holy shit, Goblin Slayer's a Ninja Turtle, and that was Master Splinter?
I'm crying.
I'm sick.
That was the first thought in my mind. I was like, hold on. That man looked like Master Splinter.
Not Master Splinter.
Yo, now that he says it, bro, he kind of do give me Master Splinter vibes. Now that I think about it. Yo.
He does. Look at the training style. Look at it. Because Master Splinter didn't go easy either. He was like, you guys got to keep going until you figure this out.
No, but like he was brutal with his with Goblin Slayer's training, bro. He didn't like you said, he didn't let up at all, bro. He was throwing snowballs or rocks in him at him and everything, and like it was like, yo. And giving him riddles. He was like, if you don't answer this riddle quick enough, the ice pillars up top are going to melt and kill you. Like what? Like
yeah, that was absolutely insane. Because you would think that he wouldn't have picked up the riddles that freaking quick. As soon as he started shooting those suckers off faster than fast, I was like, oh, damn. Oh, Lord me, oh, my. This boy knows his riddles.
But, man, like, there's so much that makes up Goblin Slayer as a character, man. It's like you really start learning, and like when you learn why he is the way he is, what, where he was before he ended up with his friend, because she even mentioned that he was there for only a few. He's been with them for only a few years. Like he came, like they linked up, and he started staying with them only a few years, not too long ago. Like my man was out here training to kill goblins this whole time. Joined Adventurers Guild.
Oh,
My man became the highest ranking adventurer plate just off killing goblins. Like he's a whole silver plate. Just off killing goblins.
There's higher than silver. It's just it's not often that you see more than silver.
That's true. What was it? Well, we don't know what the higher ones are. I'll be honest with you. I don't remember them saying. Platinum. Okay.
Platinum. Because you find that out in first mission when Priestess is going to go and sign up. She goes through all of the lists of the different tiers and stuff.
Okay, that I don't remember. I will have.
Is it all gray tiers?
I'm autistic as shit.
What'd you say, John?
Is it all gray tiers? We got silver, platinum. What?
No,
We got
they got porcelain, orichalcum, copper.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, they got different levels and different colors, but it's once you getting the silver plate as just a normal adventure is pretty damn good.
Oh yeah. That essentially says you know what you're talking about. You are to be trusted if you go party up with them. Mm-hmm. They're a good mentor type deal.
Yep.
Which, to be honest, the Priestess grew a lot in that show as an adventurer. I think she was iron, or she was like a step below silver by the end of season 2.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I don't remember what that one was, but yeah, I think so. But yeah, man, like it, and then
weren't they like preventing her from leveling up?
No, they were because they wanted to see if she could literally lead, if she could be a true leader.
Oh yeah, and she helped out the one boy that was the little brother to one of her first party members, which as soon as she found out that he was her little brother, her soul sunk so hard. I was like, oh, poor child.
Right. Gonna be all right.
Yeah, man. But what was I saying? Yeah, so Goblin Slayer. Oh, okay. So my next question. What was your favorite episode?
Episode 1. I'm kidding. Going
straight for the thick meat there.
I'm kidding. I kid. I gotta think about that.
I think for me, it was when she learned to purify.
Oh yeah,
that's a good episode.
That is a good episode.
Yeah.
That is a good episode. Using purify inside the church.
I think when they introduced Lizard Priest, I thought that was a pretty good episode.
Okay.
I mean, because that's like probably my favorite character, honestly.
He's a good character. I'm not gonna hold you. He's a really good character.
Yeah, he's pretty dope. I mean, and also like I don't want to steer away from your question. I was going to ask like, what are your thoughts on like the character design? But if you guys want to say your favorite episode, definitely go for that.
Yeah, let's go. Let's answer that question next, though.
So, favorite episode, I going to have to say is one that is the episode that Goblin Slayer almost dies, because it shows his humanity, because he was going up against the Goblin Champion under Water City.
Yeah, and that Goblin Champion chucked him and fucked him up, bro. Like,
oh yeah, the Goblin Champion tore into him, and then he came back. He came back full of adrenaline, full of vengeance when he saw the rest of the party start getting into serious trouble, especially after he heard the priestess scream in pain. His eyes were so red. Like, that was a fire plumage coming out of his freaking eye type aura.
Facts.
I was like, damn.
Yeah, bro, he was pissed, especially because he took the wig and started choking the Goblin champion,
Yeah.
and then poked his eye out, bro. He was pissed.
He straight up ripped out his eye. Was like, who's next?
All right, for me,
he was an absolute savage during that.
For me, technically it's part 1 and part 2 because I think it's 2 episodes. Episode 11 and 12, or is it 12 and 13 of season 1 when they're defending the farm?
11 and no, it's 12 and 13. Hold on,
they're defending.
Give
the
me
farm.
1 second. Yes, that set of episodes was awesome. Like,
when they're defending the farm, that was amazing. It was amazing.
He had to severely humble himself with that, because he actually went and asked for help from the adventurers himself.
And they was like, well, what's it worth to you? He's like, everything that I own. And they was like, what?
Everything I own in my power. And right there, people were like, I'll do it for just a stiff drink. And he's like, done.
Yeah, man. They was like, man, we don't want your life or anything like that, man. Just buy us a damn beverage. Like, they was like, man, that's standard price. Yo, but man, he took charge. You could tell he's definitely like a top tier adventurer, because he was like, we'll do this, we'll do this. They're used to ambushing, but not getting ambushed yourself. So we'll set up ambushes here. If you see the riders, whistle out. If you do this, okay, do not now put the goblins to sleep. Do not wake those little motherfuckers, because there'll be more trouble worth later. Like,
one of my favorite scenes happened in there, because it showed how egotistical the humans in that realm were, and how easily they got big-headed. Because of the 2 adventurers that were like, oh yeah, we got this, strayed just too far from the rest of the group and got their shit wrecked.
Yeah.
Yo.
Like, they were dead. They died instantaneously after they got freaking big-headed.
It was the way they died too, bro. Did you see how they got? Because all right, so so in those episodes when they was defending the farm, they killed all the goblins that they like, just like the Goblin Slayer's plan. All right, they took care of all of them. Then the Goblin King or whatever was like, "Yo, all right, send out the big guns." And they got quiet, and they were like, "All right, we killed all the goblins. We should be good. There shouldn't be no more." Then all of a sudden, the dwarf, he was like, "Look out overhead!" And then you see a body just flying. Like, it was like, was that a body? Like, body just flying. No, you see all these goblin champions and goblins and
hobgoblins, goblin champions.
They was like, all right. Then that's when the top tier adventurers were like, all right, if you ain't about this life, let's get it. Like, if you ain't about this life,
that's when the silver. That's when the silver plate stepped up. Was like, okay, kids, if you ain't above this level, I'm gonna need you to step back. We don't want to see you die.
And then that's when you see him separate the more experienced adventurers from the adventurers that are still not at that level. They was like, all right, let's do it.
Yeah,
and that battle was crazy, bro. They was brawling like.
and speaking of that, I actually do have a third favorite, and this one's also in season 2. And it's when the priestess takes a small group of low-rank adventurers to go save the fresh out of the batch fledglings.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
That was a meaty episode. Like, it could have went so wrong so quick, but thankfully it didn't.
This is true. Could have went so quick. But yeah, man, like that's my favorite episode. Like, or my favorite episode. That whole thing with the Goblin King and all 100 goblins and everything. Yo, I was like, man, this is a good climax. It's a good climax to season 1.
Absolutely.
All right, but what was your question again, Smack? What was
What are your guys' thoughts on character design? We talked about character development, but what are your guys' thoughts on character design? Me personally, I think the character design might be, besides Goblin Slayer, might be their weakest part. The characters don't really look too, I don't want to say original. Or what'd you say?
I said unique.
Yeah, unique. That's a good word. Yeah, they aren't too. Other than Lizard Priest. I mean,
he's full fledged unique. It's full fledged.
Oh yeah.
But I mean, for the most part, I guess generally speaking, I feel like it might be like their weakest point. Not saying it's bad though. But what are you guys' thoughts on that?
I'll be honest with
Do
you.
you feel like? I was gonna say, do you feel like that's more so towards the vein of like, since it's Goblin Slayer, it's all about like, I feel like taking like a really common like theme and enemy and like concept, and like I feel like the art style could like speak to that too.
No, that's a valid point. Maybe even just not even just with that too, but also like the time, like the time, like where it's taking place. I mean, it's not like they had Versace and Louis Vuitton back then, like, what I'm saying? So like, so I mean, I guess that could be another reason. And if you look at it from that standpoint, then the character design, I guess, is accurate. But yeah, I mean, I think it hit a lot of marks with like character design, world development, character development, story. I feel like that might be the lower part of the totem pole for it. But that's not mean. That doesn't mean it's bad.
True.
It wasn't ugly or anything. It just wasn't visually extremely stuff like always.
Yeah,
I feel like they didn't focus as much on like side character design, because the main characters they looked pretty badass, to be honest, and the goblins were really detailed. I don't think they really wanted to focus too much on making the side characters or the extra characters looking as
detailed,
as well drawn as those, because those weren't even supposed to be close to the focal point of the show. It was mainly supposed to be we got these set of people and their story slaying this type of enemy.
Like we put all our budget in a CGI type situation.
Yeah, that's fair.
I get that.
I mean,
because the animation does change from their day-to-day life. Like when they're just in their everyday life, animations are like a little more chill. Whereas like animation, it hits peak when my man is in top tier battle mode. Like,
oh hell yeah! Like they also focus a lot of their animation, I feel like, in their fights. Like their fights were just beautifully drawn.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I get that. But me, when it comes to me though, I'm like in the middle. I think their characters probably could have had more detail when it comes to them for more uniqueness. But I think the characters that they did focus on for that, they did pretty well. Like Goblin Slayer for one, the Lizard Priest.
Yeah, he looked badass.
Yeah, Lizard Priest was very well done. Okay, and then
so
yeah, go ahead.
Oh, you weren't finished. Go ahead.
Okay,
We're
yeah,
finished.
Lizard Priest was very well done. Elf Girl, she was kind of basic in my opinion. You know, normal. Like they just basically drew a human with elf ears at that point. Like it was like kind of normal. Not to say that's obviously that's kind of the norm for elves, but and she was a high elf. That's the thing that really kicked me. Like she a high elf. Y'all could have did a little more for her, but
they easily could have.
yeah. So it was just stuff like that, man. But like, whereas like characters you don't see continuously, some of them I feel like they went into detail with them too. So I was like, I guess it felt like they just picked and choose. Cause like the duo with the witch girl and the guy with the blue armor, they were really unique.
Yeah, that was they were really unique. Yeah, I agree.
I was like, I mean, they're not really main characters, but they're not really like full on side characters either. They're like in between. But I was like, we got the full squad now that we see all the time, and like the elf girl really looked like she ain't getting no love.
So that I forgot. I had a question that I wanted to ask. Yeah, then I forgot it.
Oh,
so
God.
It might come back.
It's all good. It happens, bro. But yeah, man. Like, and so moving on to like season 2, I think season 2 was pretty good too.
All right, wait, hold up. Before y'all go to season 2, I got a flight in the morning, so I got to step out. Been a blast.
Bro.
Happy holidays, everybody.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays, bro.
Where you headed, bro?
I'm going down to Atlanta. Got to go see Grandma.
All right.
Okay.
Say less.
You gonna go to AWOL after that?
Yeah, if I can.
All right.
I feel it.
Yes. Y'all have a good one.
Happy holidays and safe travels, bro.
Yeah, bro.
Appreciate you.
But yeah, season 2, man. Season 2, I'm gonna be honest with you, I feel like season 1 we got a lot of world building, but season 2 we went even further in the world building, in my opinion, because you got to see everything. You got to see the capital. You got to see the full elven forest. Like, there was a lot going on, man. It was in.
Oh yeah,
I really enjoyed it.
You definitely got to see a lot more in season 2. Like, in season 2, I think they branched the furthest away from fighting goblins than they ever did in season 1.
Yeah, because he became a part of the trainers for the new recruits, the new adventurers, the training school. I remember that.
And to be honest, I would trust that man to teach me how to survive being a free adventurer too. No joke, because he has, even though all of his techniques are centered around killing goblins, if you can use these techniques to kill goblins, you can use them to kill dragons. That's my mindset.
Nah, for real though.
Yeah, like some of his stuff is just so unique that like you can use it in any situation. Like make it making the explosives, like you said. You could use that on anything. Like
You get in an enclosed room, just throw a crap ton of powder, have a magic caster just launch up a wall or barrier of magic and just set the shit on fire.
Yeah, man, it's so much that happens in this show that I'm really glad that I continued watching it. It's entertaining, and don't get me wrong, we talked about that whole thing with the first episode. But if you are able to get past that, man, it's entertaining. There's world building, character development, great adventures, great story. It pretty much has almost everything, man.
Yeah, it's a sleeper anime.
Oh,
you know?
So I'm man, if you can get past that first episode, you're in for a real treat. In all honesty. Yeah, and I think the craziest thing, and you know what I think about it? I'm glad that I kind of got to watch this, because I will never underestimate goblins ever again in any video game.
Friggin' right.
Bro, I'm killing every goblin nest I find in any video game for the simple fact that, and then remember he said they're not bright, but they're not stupid either. They learn from their mistakes.
Oh yeah, that's why he's like bent on killing every single goblin there is, because if you leave one alive, that one will build a new nest and fully adapt to what just killed the nest he was part of previously.
Yeah, because they tried to stop him multiple times from killing the younglings. He's like, no. Like, they all gotta go. Like,
yeah,
they all
they
gotta go.
were like, but they're just children, and
There's
he's like,
inbreds too. Like they're half human, half goblins. Like, no, their existence needs to go.
You're like,
I don't blame them.
Yeah, nope, they gotta go. They got to go. Like they nope staying around here. Yeah, man, but for what it is, Goblin Slayer, like you said, J Smack, is a sleeper anime. It is some dark aspects to it, but sometimes those darker anime are the ones that you least expect to be that good, because you have to push through the darkness in order to really be entertained by what's actually happening. And it's not full dark. It's really not. There are a lot of lighthearted moments.
Yeah,
there really are.
Is.
There are really like lighthearted moments, but like it sometimes the darkness outweigh that. But then you gotta have those lighthearted moments so that way the darkness from that anime or the dark parts of it doesn't overwhelm you. So
oh yeah. Like for me, I just enjoyed like the playfulness when they weren't killing goblins, or how they would scold Goblin Slayer, and it's like, hey, you need to settle down a little bit. You're pushing yourself too hard, taking on 30 plus quests in a day and getting them all done in a day.
hey man, he was efficient if nothing else, I'll tell you that much.
Oh,
man.
He was deadly efficient. Like, I don't think anyone could be more efficient at killing a thing than he is.
Yeah, I'm be real with you. He took on all goblin missions. It was to the point that none of the new recruits who got a little more experience at that point were able to do goblin missions. I'm like, look, man, it's cool. I'm like, they're like, you never slayed goblins before? And I'm like, no, but I'm about to go learn. I'm about to go with Goblin Slayer. Like, are you crazy? No, he's Goblin Slayer. I'm gonna learn from him. Like,
I'm gonna learn everything to kill goblins. Like, he was teaching her things about killing goblins from the moment that he discovered her in that cave, and she probably didn't recognize it at the moment because, of course, she was put through so much trauma at that moment. But as you saw, he was analyzing the frontline fighters' sword first thing. Oh, this is too long to be in a cave.
Yeah, and here's the thing: that stuff I would never think of. Like he makes a valid point. There's different size swords, and when he said this sword is too long to be, you can't swing it properly in these caverns, and I'm like, that's smart. A shorter sword, like if you're gonna use a sword. I was like, I would have never thought of that. I'd be dead. I'd be dead.
You would have gotten got.
No, I would have gotten got by the goblins because I would have underestimated the information that I needed in order to be in a cave to fight them. I ain't gonna lie. I would have like, yeah, I got a long sword. Oh, wait.
Shoot, that's why Goblin Slayer, every time he went and picked up quests, he would ask if any new porcelains went and grabbed a goblin quest. And for him to have the same quest, essentially be a party member at that point to these porcelains.
Yeah, he would go
so
and
that
save
he
them,
could. Yeah, he could go at least attempt to save them.
Yeah.
Because he knew if there was any guys in those parties, 9 times out of 10, the guy by the time he gets there is dead. And the rest of the party, if they were women, they were heavily traumatized and they were sent to go live the rest of their days trying to get better.
Yeah.
Like,
because they sent them to churches and nunneries and stuff to help them rehabilitate.
yeah. Like, the only one that didn't get sent to a church or a nunnery was the one elf in, I think it was Watertown.
Yeah.
That he saved.
Yeah, I think it was Watertown.
And that one itself was actually, I was singing him high praises for how he handled when he saw her again. Like, he went up to her and he was like, "Don't worry, I killed them all."
Yeah,
and
she bust out crying.
She busted crying, and it wasn't no sad tears. She was like,
it was tears of relief.
Those horrible creatures are dead.
Yeah, she was relieved, man. She's relieved.
I mean, he's so good at his job that he was killing goblins in the Sword Priestess dreams, man.
Oh yeah, I ain't gonna lie, Sword Priestess. She obsessed with him. She want to give him the cookie. Like,
she wants to do so much to that man.
Yeah, bro. She's obsessed with my boy. Like, he was like, nah. He was like, look, man, you can call on me whenever you want. I'll be there for you. But I got other babes too. So, I got other weapons.
Dude, it's actually kind of hard to see who, if he actually accomplishes his goal and kills all of the goblins.
He deserves it. I hope he does.
Oh, he does.
Yeah,
he most definitely does. But to see who he chooses.
Man, he ain't worried about no girls. Look what you mean.
He ain't worried about no girls.
He ain't worried about no women.
But after he gets rid of all of the goblins and all of that hatred is gone, which all of that hatred wouldn't be gone. It would probably just leave him in a lull at that point. But close enough for all of the hatred to be gone. He would probably try to settle down and do something else.
Yeah, if he's going to settle down, I choose the farm girl. I want him to settle down with the farm girl. I'm just saying, it's basically there. That's best friend. Okay, she's already in love with him.
Oh yeah, I agree, but you gotta admit, Sword Priestess is awesome, and we all know the Priestess. As soon as he came and was her knight in shining freaking armor, she was just all for him.
Yeah, bro, but she's young, so I'm not really rooting for her. Like,
I know, but those are the three that I see.
Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Now, if we're talking about Elf, I can see Elf and Lizard Priest. I can see Elf and Lizard Priest. It would be weird, but
nah, she got a thing for Goblin Slayer.
She does, but also she's kind of like, I can't stack up against Farm Girl.
I'm just saying she does got a thing for Goblin Slayer. There's no change in that.
Oh, there's no change in that, but when Lizard Priest proposed to her, she was like, she got all flustered. She was like, oh damn. There is someone that might want me.
I forgot that he did that. But
she want me.
She want me. But nah, man. Like, all right, but I feel like we really talked about Goblin Slayer. We talked about the world building, character building. We talked about episode 1. We talked about moving past episode 1 and what you can actually enjoy watching the show once you get past that scene.
We talked about the light and dark of the show.
Mm-hmm. And
we talked a lot about the light. We talked about the show,
cast and the characters and the uniqueness of how they're drawn. We covered a lot, and culture, yeah, that too. We talked about that too, and Cobalt stopped in. He gave his 2 cents, which I'm glad he could. So, bottom line, I feel like we've thoroughly, or at least we've pretty much covered all bases when it comes to this anime. This anime, in my opinion, is a binge, but only if you get past episode 1, which is your trial. Like, that's your trial.
Yeah. I mean, if you can handle Berserk, you can handle Goblin Slayer.
Oh, for sure.
Like, if you watch Berserk and you
yeah,
don't want to
for
watch
sure,
Goblin Slayer for the first episode, but that don't make sense to me. Berserk is
10
crazy.
times worse.
I mean,
It's 10 times worse.
yeah. There's a lot of other ones too, man. But yeah, I think it's a solid. I give it a 7.5. I give it a 7.5. I give it a 7.5.
Yeah, I give it a 7.5.
A strong 7.5.
7.5, possible 8. Possible 8.
Yeah, Bleaching.
I will say for me, because I like the dark, gritty fantasy genre a whole bunch. Like, it's in the books I read, the novels I read, and stuff. Like, I don't know if you fellas have heard of the book series, but I've been reading. I read the original trilogy for Shadow and Bone, and that
No, I haven't heard that.
dark and gritty.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
I've heard of that. You said it gets dark, huh?
It can get pretty dark in there, and it's not as dark as like episode 1 Goblin Slayer. I don't think I could ever find anything that freaking dark to read that I would be able to read and not have like physical face reactions of ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, I feel that. We'll have to check it out.
Yeah, man, it sounds interesting. Don't forget to you can just message that to me later so I can look it up.
I can put it in the Discord.
All right, cool.
All right, dope.
Well, yeah,
if you guys don't want to read it, it's a Netflix original series, but they kind of rushed the story a bit.
Oh, all right. Yeah, send me
That's
all
always
that.
the worst.
Send me an info.
Is it on the Shonen Jump app? How do you read it?
It's an actual novel.
Oh, okay.
It's not manga.
Okay.
I'm gonna check it out.
But yeah, man, we've covered everything. Get past episode 1 if you can. Try to enjoy the story. If you can't, we understand. We're not forcing nobody. 7.5 to an 8 ratio for scale of 1 to 10. Good show.
Jolly good show.
Go watch it. Like I said, go watch it if you can. But yeah, man, this has been Binge and Cringe. We talked about Goblin Slayer and all of the avenues of it, and it's a lot to take in, man. Anybody got any closing statements for get us out of here?
Next episode, can we talk about Rising the Shield Hero? Because I finally caught up to that.
Let's do it. I forgot about Rising. Bro, it's time. We've had 3 or 4 seasons? 3?
I'm only on season 2. I think it's 3. I'm only on season 2, and I'm not done season 2. But we could touch base with season 1 too.
Yeah.
I mean,
So season.
Let me confirm that for you boys, real quick before we blast off here.
Yeah, what's up?
3 seasons, 50 episodes.
Yeah, man, it's come a long way.
Okay.
It's come a long way.
Yeah, absolutely.
I have to finish season. I'm actually just gonna have to restart season 3 to finish it. All
right, so
first two seasons, freaking.
So I think we have. So I think we have our next 2 episodes then. I'll decide which order. But if we don't do whatchamacallit next week, if we don't, dang, you just said it, and I'm drawing a blank.
Shield Hero?
Yeah, if we don't do Shield Hero next week, it'll be the week after. So the 2 episodes that we have right now, because I already had an idea for another episode.
That's cool.
Arcane, Arcane League of Legends, because they just dropped season 2 on Netflix.
Yeah,
still
I'm
need-
gonna
I
have
still
to
need to
watch
see it.
season 2.
Yeah, I still need to see it. I'm slacking. I heard nothing but good things though.
It's
so.
pretty good, man. And it's pretty good
Hey.
from what I've seen so far. I didn't finish season 2 yet. I'm almost done season 2. But yeah, so you know what? No, we'll do Shield Hero next week. And
That'll give me
Right here,
some
man.
time.
huh?
That'll give me some time to watch Arcane
Yeah.
if we do it week
true.
after next.
Yeah, so that's what you know what we'll do it in that order. We'll do Shield Hero next week, and then the following week we'll do Arcane. I feel
Sounds
like that'll
good,
give
gang.
everybody time. So, but yeah, man, good episode. Thank you for joining me, gentlemen. D Zone, J Smack, y'all the boys. Much love. Shout out to my boy John for joining us tonight, and also shout out for Cobalt making, even though we wasn't sure he was going to, making his appearance. Okay, you know how he get down. The godfather
Yes,
of
sir.
anime himself. So,
Hey, shouts out to you for making this space, gang.
bro, thank you, man. Thank you. I'm trying, man. I'm trying to grow the community, man. I don't like. I mean, obviously, like likes and follows are nice and everything, but I just want people to come around and be entertained. You know, have a good time, even if they come once in a blue moon or something. Just come and join the conversation, man. That's all I want. I just want
Yes,
people to have
sir.
a good time.
Yes, sir.
So,
Yes, sir, man.
but yeah, let's continue this. Keep going. We are way past 75 episodes now. I'm very happy about that. We've done
Okay.
it. We've done it, man. We trying to hit when we get to our. I got to double check see how many episodes we are at. But when we do 100, bro, that's gonna be big. That episode, I feel like we got to do a really big anime, man, or like something. I got to
Hell
come up
yeah.
with something unique for episode 100. It's got to be different.
I'm with it.
Yeah. So, but yeah, without further ado, as always, I'm your boy Ideal Tone, and I just made that known. And we are out of here. All right. Later.
Peace.
Bye.
You guys have a good night. Happy holidays and all that jazz.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. See you guys.
See ya.
Yeah, no, I wasn't sure if I was going to actually be able to finish Goblin Slayer because I was starting to get disheartened a little bit from it. And